As soon as the reactant enter in the reactor, there is a reaction immediately, and there will be the throughout the reactor this concentration is same. That is everywhere this is the Ca, and the same one will be at the exit, and utilizing the complete volume of reactor. This is the situation of ideal reactor. So generally we design the reactor at ideal condition, is it? That you have studied till now in the reaction. But in reality, is it the same? No, it will not be the same. Whatever we think that ideal reactor, which will it will be not same in the at real conditions, or we can say for the real reactor. Now, in these particular ideal reactors, what you have studied basically is batch, PFR, MFR, and also what we have studied early means CRE1, simply that size of the reactor, to finding out the size of reactor. Then you have studied the product distribution also. Then optimum configuration and also the optimum concentration or maximum concentration in case of the multiple reactions, is it? And it is little bit simple, is it? Very simple equation, straightforward equations, but still there is a deviation for this particular one. There is a deviation from the ideality. That means whatever we define as a reactor, batch reactor, plug flow reactor, the same thing you will not get it. Suppose I design the equation based on the particular reaction, say the PFR, MFR on this one. And when we are performing the reaction actually there, I'm not getting the same conversion. So there may be the reason that there is a non-ideality. Definitely there will not be any problem from your side, but there may be the non-ideality available in the reactor. So now take the simple case of the gas liquid reactor. Gas liquid reactor, how you can draw it? Just simply one column, is it? If you have that column, say that, suppose this is the, we'll understand the concept of non-ideality. And that will be available in the real reactor, not in the ideal reactor. Ideal reactor means there will not be any kind of the non-ideality. So take a simply it is a kind of a it is a gas liquid reactor. That means reaction between gas and liquid. So here it is B. This is liquid. Generally in gas liquid, gas will pass from the bottom and liquid will be from the top. So here it is a gas, and here you may have the in liquid B plus C. C is the your product A. Okay. So Because of liquid, there may be the certain level of the liquid always will be there. And then through this one, there will be the bubbles and gas will come. Unreacted A will come. Okay. So A is gas, B is the liquid. Now, here what you can see, what you can think about the ideal conditions and non-ideal conditions. So what here, what we are doing, gas as a reactor, that means gaseous reactor, we bubble into the reactor, and while this liquid reactant which is fed through the top inlet, okay, and the reaction where it will take place, reaction will take place on the surface of the bubble, or we can say the gas liquid interface. That means the reaction will be at where? Gas liquid interface. That means suppose this is the your bubble, okay, gas. So here will be the liquid. So reaction will be taking place at the interface of this particular. You might have studied the two film theory. That means if you draw it in the two film, there will be the kind of a interface, is it? And on both the side, there may be the formation of film. Suppose this is your liquid and this is your gas. So here will be the gas film and here will be the liquid film, and this is the interface. Is it? To quantify the resistances offered by the interface, that we can use the two film theory. Is it? Other theories are there. Okay, that we'll see later on also in other chapters. So here the reaction is taking place at the interface of gas and liquid. Is it? So here it is a liquid is continuous one, and that we can see that it is a perfectly mixed. So liquid will be and here reaction, or you can say that RA we can write it, is directly proportional to the what? The reaction rate is directly proportional to what? Total bubble surface area, because this reaction is performing at or carried out at the interface surface. So whatever bubbles are here in the present, so whatever surface area is there, so it will be depend on that. If it has a higher surface area, rate will be more, because the area available, contact area available will be more, then reaction rate will be more. So it will be directly proportional to the total bubble surface area. Okay. Now the surface area. Now the surface area which is available for the reaction will be depend on what? The surface area of this particular bubble, which is depend on the time, that how much spent in the reactor. That means again this is bubble area will again depend on the time spent in the reactor. If that bubble will be for the more time, so definitely this B and A, that means A present in the B in the bubble will get consumed more, because or it is available, surface area is available. So here it is liquid, that is perfectly mixed, and here the rate of reaction will be depend on the surface area available. But this surface area, for how much time it is available, so that is also important. So this again bubble area, total bubble area will be again depend on the how much time it is spent in the reactor. Because here again, if you see here, these bubbles, sorry, I put it, yeah, these bubbles are of what? Different size. Why it is directly again depend on the time spent? Because these bubbles of different sizes, and also few bubbles will stay for a shorter time, few bubbles maybe stay for a longer time. So depend on the time spent also. And which bubble is consumed up to what extent, so that is also important. And so overall this rate is depend on the surface area available. So the time spent by these particular bubbles, we can call it as a bubble residence time, or simply the residence time for the particular reactor. So time spent in the reactor, we can say it is called as the bubble residence time. Okay. So that's why how these bubbles are distributing or spending the time inside the reactor is essential to know about their stay in the reactor. So that is called the residence time distribution. That means what? In ideal reactor, there is a very fix. Each and every element, if you take the batch reactor, is spending the same time. Then PFR, it is moving across the length of the reactor. In MFR, as soon as it is enter in the reactor, it is converted. So uniform concentration. So these are the ideal one. In this particular one, we are not able to know that whether what kind of the this behavior of the bubbles, how and what bubbles are spending how much time in the reactor. So to understand this one, we have to know the residence time distribution or the time stay by the bubble, and that distribution we can call as a residence time distribution. Another example, if you say the packed bed column, packed bed reactor, okay, just take the packed bed reactor. In ideal condition, packed bed we can assume as a plug flow reactor, plug flow behavior, and we just design it. Suppose this is our packed bed. It is packed with the certain water packing material. Okay. So this is the packed bed, which is packed with the certain, say the if it is a catalytic reactor, it will pack with the catalyst. If it is a absorption column, it may be the other normal packing, non-reacting packing. So here the reactant fluid usually does not flow through the reactor uniformly. If you see that, if you cut it in this particular slice and you find out the volume, void volume will not be same at all places. That means flow distribution will not be the uniform in this one. Also, there is possibility in this particular one, the section in this particular one will offer also the resistance to flow, but not necessarily at the whatever resistance at this particular point will be same at this point. So the resistance will also be the non-uniform in this one. And because of this, many major portion of this particular fluids may channel. That means, suppose fluid is coming like this, it will go this way, this way, this way, this way. So it is making the channel. That means it is not utilizing the complete space available or the surface area available for contacting. So different paths may be taken. That is, means every element of this particular fluid will not, suppose this is coming to this particular one, and one of these coming directly like this. So you can understand that which one is taking the most time. So this will take, this particular element is taking more time. That means stay time in the reactor will be more, but for this element will be lesser time to this one. That means here will be more conversion, the element which is taking the path this one, and for this one will be the less. So that's why this study of the residence time distribution is important. That means the non-ideality study. Another example, if you say the stir tank reactor. Or continuous flow reactor or mixed flow reactor. So MFR, if you take it, ideal condition, we know it. But in some cases, what happened? Suppose this is our mixed flow reactor. Okay. If my feed location is here. So what is happening in this particular reactor? This is moving. Okay. So here you can see that when reactant is coming from this particular, what will happen? It will come this one, it will go like this also, it will go like this. So some reactant will go like this and then mixing will be there. So proper reaction and then it will. Some reactant will go like this and it will come through this way or mixing. Some reactant, portion of the reactant will come through this one, is it? And some may come this one and make the this particular as a dead zone. That means this particular volume will not be the utilized. It is not utilized, so it will be dead zone. Means whatever fluid will be, that will not mix properly. Similarly, at this particular location, there may be the formation of the, again, stagnant zone. This is also the kind of a dead zone. Is it? That means whatever element is coming, fluid is coming through this inlet, will not taking the same time inside the reactor, and there may be the flow distribution, split in the flow. Some portion is coming like this, some portion may be coming like this, and some portion is coming like this, and some portion may be thoroughly mixed. And if there is a strong circulation, so it is spending more time for the circulation. Is it? So this is the case of the non-ideality. Also, if you see this one, say our plate column. Suppose this is our one plate, this is another one, this is another. Okay. And if I put it like this, I make it like this. So suppose this is inlet, this is outlet. What will happen? You know that it will make their own path like this. Is it? Sorry, this is the exit. Okay. So it is a kind of a plate column. So it will make the path like this. So what about these volumes? So definitely these volumes may be considered as a kind of a stagnant regions or dead zones. So this will be the is it? Similarly, there may be the kind of a short circuiting. That means directly it will go to the exit. Suppose this is the kind of a dual impeller inlet, and suppose here it is outlet. So some of the fluid will directly go in the exit without having the mixing or any kind of the reaction. So this we can say it is a kind of a short circuiting. Then there are also channeling also is there. Suppose we have the spray column. Okay, this is for the gas. This is also for the gas or liquid system also will be there. Liquid, and here it is a liquid. Okay. So there may be the find. So that. So counter current two-phase separations mostly it may be possible. That means there will be the channeling. There will be the more free space and having their own channels. For suppose this gas is coming, so it will go like this will like this. So they are bypassing and making their own channel in the packed bed. So it is a kind of a spray column. Then also, okay, packed bed we have already seen. So these kind of the problems may be there in the our reactor. So to quantify this particular one, this non-ideality, when we are going to design, when we are going for the ideal reactor, we have the straightforward equation V as a function of various parameters. Is it? Straightforward equation. But in this case, when we are going to design the real reactor, we must have to account all these things. The non-ideality. To account this one, there are the various mathematical models. So we have to use it. That means just by using our mathematical performance equation, you cannot design. You have to study the non-ideality of that reactor also. Is it? So when you perform, when you make the design, that's why we always take the 20%, 30% excess and design the reactor. And once you design, and then you want to know that how much what for a particular conversion, if you have decided and you have designed that reactor, and to know that whether really it will give the same things or not, you can just check it through the residence time distribution study and then you can quantify the conversion. So that's why there is some kind of a mathematical one, and that is one is the segregation model. Another is the axial dispersion, and one is the Tankin series. Other models are also available, but in our this particular course, we are going for the segregation model, axial dispersion model, and Tankin series model. So now we'll just start the. I hope that you got it. The what is the exactly the non-ideality? That means deviation from the ideal one. That is a non-ideality. The typical definition for the ideal batch reactor, plug flow reactor, mixed flow reactor, you know it that. So whatever reactor is deviating from that one, and of course there are the deviation from these reactors that we can consider as a non-ideality. So to quantify that non-ideality, there is certain mathematical things, mathematical expressions, some terminologies that we have to use it. So step by step, we'll go for this one. So we'll go for the residence time distribution. Clear residence, the time residence, that means residing in the reactor. Time distribution, the elements, how much time it is spending in the reactor, their distribution with respect to time, that is called the residence time distribution. Yeah, that is a good question. Someone asked me that, Abhinit, will the ends dead zones be possible in MFR if ends are come? Yes, if you have this kind of the reactor, so definitely these dead zones we can avoid it. But because of the some design complications, see, designing this flat is always easy. That's why you can see many of the reactors, batch reactors are these kind of the reactors, is it? To avoid the non-ideality, or that means to reduce the dead zones by using this kind of the impeller. Yes, Abhinit, it is okay? Yeah. Residence time distribution. So pioneers in this particular one is the first time the work which was presented on residence time by Macmillan and Weber, that is in 1935. One of the research paper, they have put it the idea of this residence time distribution. Macmillan and Weber. Then later on, it was continued and then more elaborated by the Danckwerts, the well known in the mass transfer and this residence time distribution, that is. Okay. So definition of the ideal reactors that we have seen it. So residence time distribution, definitely it will directly affect the your performance of the reactor. So now we'll go for the certain methods of residence time distribution. How we can find out the residence time distribution? Here, you should make it clear residence time distribution in the sense the time spent by the distribution of the time spent by the particular molecules in the reactor, that we can call as a residence time distribution. Okay. So there are certain methods to find out the residence time distribution. Generally, what we do it, suppose this is the reactor, any of the reactor, okay, or equipment. See, it is not applicable only for the reactor. It is applicable to equipment also. Suppose some separation column is there. So in that also there is possibility of the bypass, channeling, stagnant zones, dead zones. So generally we pass the one kind of a tracer, and here we record the its concentration. That means if I put it here, so the element will move inside the reactor then reaching the here. Now here make it sure that whatever portion now we are going to study now, see that one, there is no reaction. Here we are talking about the only measurement of the residence time distribution. How to quantify the residence time distribution. Then we will go for the use of this distribution for reaction to quantify the performance of particular reaction in that reactor. I think someone has asked me in the chat box, sir, what is the non-ideality in PFR if we neglect the axial dispersion? Yeah, if we neglect, but up to what extent we can neglect the axial dispersion? There must be certain limit for that, na? We should not deviate much. That we'll see later on. Okay, when we'll go for the axial dispersion, up to what extent we can see that okay, it is considerable, and that is depend on the dispersion number or dispersion coefficient that we will calculate. Based on that, we decide whether there is a non-ideality. That means when you perform the particular residence time distribution, you will find out certain parameters, say the dispersion number. If your dispersion number is 0 or almost 0, then definitely there is a close to the plug flow reactor. Likewise, so that we'll see in the next next 2-3 chapters about the this dispersion. Okay. So measurement of residence time distribution here. Yes, anything, Abhinit? Okay. Now, when we are going for the measurement, generally we use the one of the compound which must be the inert. So what kind of the tracer we can use it? Tracer, the material which is used to measure the residence time distribution in that reactor. So it must be the inert because it should be measurable. That means detectable. Whatever method we will use for the detection, it should be having the similar physical properties. Similar to whatever reaction mixture is there or fluid is present in the reactor, and must be completely soluble. Also, there should not be any adsorption on the wall or other surface. So these should be their typical characteristics of the tracer. Inert, chemically inactive, detect, it must be detectable, having the similar physical properties. Okay. Yeah, similar physical properties. That means density, viscosity should be similar to the fluid which is present in the reactor. Okay. When you are talking about the similar physical properties, that means the properties of this particular tracer should be similar to the whatever fluid is present in the reactor or reaction mixture. Density, viscosity. Okay. What is said? What is the non-ideal in the PFR if we neglect the axial dispersion? We cannot neglect the axial dispersion. If there is an axial dispersion, that means it is moving towards the mixed flow reactor. So if you design the plug flow reactor by using our ideal equations, then it will not give the same performance. That's why we have to quantify the what is the whether it is significant or not, that axial dispersion. For that there is a axial dispersion model. So that we'll see in the next 2-3 chapters. So there this will be clear. So we cannot neglect the axial dispersion. Okay. Okay. So this should be the properties of the tracer. What we are going to do in this particular one, measurement of RTD, we are measuring the concentration at the exit with respect to time. So we'll put the tracer here and we'll measure it. Is it? So mostly in general, we use the colored or radioactive kind of the material. We generally use it for the residence time distribution measurements. Now there are various methods that we can use it, and that is depend on the pulse this tracer, how we are introducing the tracer in the reactor, and mostly it is called as a pulse input, then step input, periodic input also we can give it, and random input. So pulse input, immediately at a short time, very short time, we are just giving the putting the amount of tracer. Small amount of tracer we are just putting it here for a short time, and then it will flow through this one and there will be the measurement. In step 1, we are just switching to the tracer concentration. That means suppose here continuous flow of the one of the fluid reaction mixture or reactant, immediately we are shifting to the tracer and then continuously it will pass through the reactor. Periodic one, the nature of the input will be like this. Slow, zero concentration, then increase it, increase it, this one. Random, any kind of the distribution. Any kind of the tracer we can give it. Type in the sense, input type. Is it? But in mostly, we go for this one because it is these two are easy to quantify, that is pulse and step input. And in this also, the step has the disadvantage of that amount of tracer, because you are continuously moving for the, you are going for the tracer, but in this pulse one, small amount of the tracer we are just adding it. Here we are switching to the flow of tracer, so that's why here more tracer will be required. Similarly in these two cases also, but it will be very difficult in this one to make the mathematically input this one, because you should know the input function for this particular one. Input function for this one, it is somewhat easy for the periodic because fix what we can say that amplitude for this one, for periodic one, but for random it will be very difficult to quantify this part in terms of the function, concentration function with respect to time here. So in this all three cases, more amount of the tracer will be required, but here it is just fraction of the total volume of the reactor, that amount of tracer will be required. So that's why mostly the pulse input is preferred for the measuring of residence time distribution. Okay. And this tracer, generally, it is not the solid, generally it is a liquid. Even it is a solid, we just dissolve in the water, in particular whatever reaction mixture little bit, and then we place it. Because if you directly put the solid in that particular, say at this particular one, we don't know how much time it will take for the dissolving in this particular liquid. So that's why we are just put it the liquid as a tracer. In case of the radioactive element, if I put it a small amount of that one, that may not be possible to dissolve in this one, but because of the radioactive one, it is very easily detectable. So mostly we prefer the, even radioactive have their own disadvantages, but in the big some more sophisticated resonance time distribution measurements, flow measurements, people are using this radioactive one, but preferably non-radioactive can be used. So it will be the liquid in most of the cases. Okay. So this is about the measurement of residence time distribution. Okay. Now we'll go for the pulse input. Yeah, I think time is over now, almost. So we can stop here, and from tomorrow we'll start the pulse input mathematical expressions involved in this particular measurement of residence time distribution. If you have any kind of the questions, you can just put it in the chat box or directly you can ask me now. I again remind those who were absent yesterday, they can just ask their senior or what we can say that